Hello and welcome to Enjoy English School. I'm Stevie.
And I'm Minnie.
Today we're looking at day 2 of our English on Campus lesson about attending a campus lecture.
那我们今天校园英文主题呢，我们要持续昨天来讲的校园讲座。
So, yesterday's conversation, we had Rebecca and her teacher, Mr. Hong. And Mr. Hong was telling Rebecca there was a lecture about sleep, and he thought Rebecca might be interested to go to the lecture. So today, we're going to find out maybe a little bit about what Rebecca learned at the lecture.
那我们昨天呢，老师告诉 Rebecca 有一个讲座，她可能有兴趣。那我们今天就要来看一下，或许可以学到一些 Rebecca 她在这个讲座里面听到什么的一些资讯哦。
Okay, so we start out.Mr. Hong has asked Rebecca to share what she learned from the lecture with the class.
Wow.
So she went to the sleep lecture from the professor from a top university, right? And so now Mr. Hong is asking her to share what she learned from the lecture.Yeah,
所以洪老师这边要请 Rebecca 跟全班同学分享她从讲座中学到的东西。It's like a public speaking almost.So
basically, the professor is saying, there was a lecture, Rebecca went, and today she's teaching my class.
Easy money.
Okay, so Mr. Hong says, okay, everyone.
Okay, 好的，大家。
Yeah, this just is telling your class, okay, everybody, be quiet.
Or like, pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention, please. So the teacher says, okay, everyone.Let's hear what Rebecca has to say. Let's hear what she has to say about the sleep lecture.
所以这句话说，让我们来听听 Rebecca 怎么说。意思就是说 Rebecca 她要分享她可能在她的讲座听到的事情。
Did you find the lecture very informative?
我好喜欢 informative 这个形容词哦 because this word means 内容很丰富。So if something is very informative 就代表很丰富，很学到很多的意思。
It is a good word.
Yeah.
And it means you can learn a lot from it, right? So it's also it makes you sound smart.
Maybe that's why I like this word.
That was very informative.
内容非常丰富哦，然后含金量很多，中文会这样讲。
It's also a way to make your professor happy. Professor, that was a great lecture. It was very informative. See, you feel like your teacher now feels like
I'm a good teacher.
Yeah. So did you find the lecture very informative? Now, 这个不是 find, like,
找到。
Yeah, this just means what did you think about it? And now Rebecca says, yes, Mr. Hong, I did. I did find it or think it was very informative.
所以这边 yes, Mr. Hong, I did. 它很简单，是的，洪老师，我觉得很丰富。但是这边英文就是直接省略了后面完全整个我觉得很丰富这个整个句子，它直接用 I did 就可以了。
The professor discussed many things that I was not aware of before. So they're speaking very formally, but Rebecca says the professor discussed or talked about many things that I was not aware of. Now, if you were not aware of something, that means you didn't know about it. You didn't understand it. But it also means that now I am aware. Now I do understand.
Yeah. 所以这边的be 动词 aware of 它其实就是知道的意思，所以 I was not aware of 其实就是 I didn't know about it, I didn't know 我不知道。但是我们这一边因为它是一个学生跟教授的对话，所以它都偏比较正式，所以教授讨论了很多我以前不知道的事。
I'll tell you another interesting fact for students here. When we talk about be aware of something.Now, have you heard the word, students, beware?
Beware.
B-E-W-A-R-E, beware. Usually that's a warning, right? Like beware of the dog. Beware of sharks in the water. So we'll say, beware of something. Well, beware is just a shortened word. Be aware of something.
Oh.
So beware of. But beware doesn't mean just be aware, but be careful.
哦，所以它不是只是要知道而已，它还要小心，它是一个警告意味，有点像是那种立牌小心地滑的感觉。
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is that formal English or is like a slang?
No, it's formal, but it's used everywhere. In formal language, in slang, in written, yeah.
哦，所以写作也可以用。
Beware of, maybe on a haunted house, they'll say, beware of the ghost.
小心有鬼。
Yeah. Okay, now she says, yes, I learned a lot. That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Hong says, what did you find most interesting? What did you think? What really caught your attention? What did you like about it the most, maybe?
所以这句话就是说，你觉得最有趣的是什么？
Rebecca says, well, according to the professor, the average student in Taiwan gets about 7 hours of sleep a night. That's actually more than I thought. So, according to the professor, this means according to. Well, from what this professor told me, or told us, the average student. Now, when we say average, this just means they take all the students and kind of, they do an average. How do you say that in Chinese?
平均。
Oh,
Yeah.
平均, yeah.
But here we might translate it into like 一般的，就是大多数的 like most of them.
Really?
Yeah.
But she says, according to the professor, the average student in Taiwan gets about 7 hours of sleep a night.
所以根据教授的说法，一般的台湾学生每晚的睡眠时间约7个小时，这比我想象中的还多，也比我想象中的还多。
Me too. I totally thought, really?
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Now I want to know if this professor was accurate.
Yeah, accurate 就代表说它是正确的。
他正确吗？
对啊，大家可以告诉我们你睡几个小时吗？
I feel like Taiwanese students go to bed so late.
So late.
And then wake up so early.
That's right.
And that includes little kids. So.
But I think that is changing now.
Is it?
Yeah, because they postponed the school time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, normally when I was a student, we have to be at school around 7:30. But now I think they only need to be at school before 8. So like 30 minutes more. That's changed
not
a lot.
Much, though.
That changed a lot. Seriously.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, half an hour when you're not used to having that extra half an hour could be a lot.
Yeah.
That could be extra time to eat breakfast or something. Wow. Yeah, too many people that I know do not get enough sleep. So, yeah, then she says, that's actually more than I thought. And Mr. Holmes says, why did you think that?
你为什么这么想呢？
Yeah, Rebecca says, because I usually sleep for less than 6 hours. And I think the same is true for most of us here in the class. So I think that professor surprised me. It's more than I thought because I sleep less than that. I sleep less than 6 hours. And I think the same is true for most. And this just means, and I think most of the people in this class also sleep less than 6 hours.
那因为 Rebecca 会这样想，原因是因为她自己本身的经验哦，因为她自己通常睡不到6个小时，然后她说，我想我们班的大多数人也是如此，意思就是也睡不到6个小时。Same here.
Yeah, same here. So Mr. Holmes says, do you think you're getting enough sleep?
你觉得你睡眠足够吗？
I think every student in Taiwan would say,
No.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a quick break. And we'll come back and find out what Rebecca says. Okay, we are back. And the professor just asked Rebecca if she thought she got enough sleep. So Rebecca says here in the next sentence, of course not.
当然不够。
当然没有。
Of course not enough.
Yeah. The professor said we should get at least 8 hours of sleep each night.
Oh.
So, but there's a couple things that are important here. The professor told us we should get at least 至少 8 hours of sleep each night.
每一晚
Every night. So does that include taking a nap in the afternoon? No. It's getting
晚上要
at
睡8个
least
小时
8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Very luxurious.
Yes.
很奢侈啊 怎么可能每一晚至少睡8个小时呢
And I know a lot of people are thinking, huh? 怎么可能?
对呀
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Well, it is possible. Guess what? You have to go to bed earlier.
You mean like 8 o'clock?
Well, if you want 8 hours of sleep, you should probably go to sleep at least by 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah. I'll finish this and then I'll tell you about American kids.
Sure.
At least when I was little.
Okay.
All right. So the professor said we should get at least 8 hours of sleep. Now, Mr. Holmes says, did the professor talk about the effects of getting too little sleep? The effect of something is what it does to you, what happens to you. So, did the professor tell you about the effects of what happens to you when you get too little sleep or not enough sleep?
所以教授有没有谈到说睡眠过少的影响？这边老师讲的 effect 是 E 开头 EFFECT 这边是名词，我们等一下会看到它的动词，这两个要做一个比较，要小心使用。
Yeah. And also, you will hear me say effect because I took 很多那种发音的课。Because 我以前是做舞台剧。
Ooh.
I did. And so, yes, you will hear and see in the KK, they say effect. Okay. But when we say it clearly in Old English, it's effect.
I like to say effect as well.
Yeah. And the is because we say it quickly. Did the professor talk about the effects of getting too little sleep?
为了连音。
我如果跟我朋友在美国讲话，我会讲这么快。And so then you hear effect. But if we say it slow, effect. Yeah. Okay. So did the professor tell you the effects of too little sleep? Rebecca says, yes, she did. Okay, now we also understand the professor was a woman professor. She did. She said it has a bad effect on our mood and concentration. So if you don't get enough sleep, you could have a bad effect on your mood. You might wake up a little grouchy. 可能会心情不好, right?
对。
And it also has a bad effect on your concentration.
Concentration 就是注意力 concentrate 那个字，然后变成 TION 名词结尾。所以这一整个句子呢，他说 Yes, she did. 所以我们从这个 she 代名词也知道说，我们给 lecture 的这个讲师这个 professor 她是女生，她说这对我们的情绪跟注意力有不好的影响。
This can affect our relationships and school grades. So this can affect, or we could say influence. Also, INFLUENCE. But this does something to our relationships and our school grades.
所以这个 Rebecca 她又再进一步的说，这会影响，这边的影响就是 AFFECT， 它是 A， 跟刚刚的 E 就不一样。这边 A 开头的这个 affect 是动词，它会影响我们的人际关系跟在校成绩。
Now Mr. Holmes says, did she give any advice? Did she tell you maybe what you could do to fix the problem? Did she tell you what she suggested you do?
Suggestion.
Yes. Did she give you any suggestions?
所以她有提供你任何的 advice, suggestion, 建议吗？
Rebecca says she told us that we should go to bed earlier.
So simple.
Yeah, 就这么简单, right?
对，她告诉我们应该要早点睡。
And I thought of an easy way to do that. So she told us that we should go to bed earlier. And I thought, I know an easy way we can do that.
对，一个简单的方法可以早点睡。
And I love this. Mr. Hong says, oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah? 是吗？
He could have said, oh, really? What's that?
那是什么呢？什么方法呢？
What's your suggestion?
Yeah.
Rebecca says, maybe you can assign us less homework.
So formal, 好正式，但是他其实就是说，或许你可以少出一些作业给我们。
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when a teacher, we could also, if we're speaking more slang, we could say, well, maybe you could give us less homework.
Give us less homework. 给我们少一点作业的意思。
Yeah. So we would say give us. But the correct verb to when you are giving somebody an assignment, okay, ASSIGNMENT, that is the noun. An assignment. Well, the proper verb is to assign an assignment.
所以 assign 这个字其实如果你查字典的话，它是一个动词，叫做指派，意思就是老师分配给大家的工作或功课，所以 assignment assign 它就是用指派这个字下去做变化的。
Yeah. So give us homework, assign us to do homework, assign you to do a job. Now, I just mentioned that I would talk about a little bit about when I was growing up, and also my little brother, his kids. When I was growing up, when I was really little, 8 p.m. was bedtime.
8点
Yes. And 6 a.m. was wake-up time.
Wow.
So little kids actually need more sleep. And
10 hours.
Yeah, they say little kids need like 9 to 10 hours of sleep. And so my bedtime was 8 o'clock until I think maybe third or fourth grade. I think fourth. 好像国小4年级. Fourth grade, I got a bedtime of 9 o'clock.
晚1个小时
Yeah. And then fifth grade, it was 10 o'clock.
再晚1个小时
Yeah. If I wanted to stay up.
Yes.
But after that, even when I was in high school,
高中
I would only stay up late if it was like a weekend. On a weeknight, we were all asleep by 10, even my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even your parents?
Yeah, but in high school, I had to get up at 5:30 in the morning.
That's really early. 5点半就要醒了耶
Yeah, well, we had our farm. So every morning at 5:30, I had to milk cows.
哇
那时候5点半
起来挤牛奶
Yeah, I had to. No
挤
choice.
完牛奶再去学校上课
Yeah, yep.
That's very cool.
All right, so that is our lesson for today. So maybe students, you could try getting to sleep a little earlier.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult because now we have phone. 我们有手机，对不对？很多人滑手机滑一滑，时间就过了。
My brother's little kids, they're not allowed to take their phone in their room at bedtime.
所以手机全部都留在外面，然后进去睡觉这样。
When it's bedtime, the phones go in mom and dad's room.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
这一集大家的爸妈不要听。
Well, for high school students, it's a little different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my other, they're
国小
junior high and 国小, they don't have a phone.
Oh, okay.
My brother's like, no, I'm not spending that money.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.